Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are through 5 days of building on our coffee time corner of happiness from Cuteroom. Really digging this one. It's coming together good. I'm getting lucky with some of my building choices. I admit, I'm surprised how well it's going. Actually, these little guys generally give me a lot more trouble than they did last night, so I'm really pretty pleased with how they turned out. But not much else to say about that. If you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures, and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just trying to have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, we're just building silly little models and having a bit of fun. If you see any kits or builds or sets you want me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience in YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best options. So, without any further ado, we've got, let's see, I got our little basket for our newspapers and some stools to build, and then I'm going to take a shot at the dust cover, although I did notice I may have goofed up when I did my little billboard sign here. I think I put it too close to the edge because I think the dust cover falls down inside that edge. So we may have to undo that and reapply it to a different spot. Before it's all said and done, I'll give it a dry fit before I decide. And let me get some strings out of there. But that might come up later. But for the time being, we're going to jump in and build our, like I said, this is just sort of like a little new magazine basket is what they're calling it. Find the page. Okay, so start off with, oh yeah, I need, get another one of my magic, well that's two of them. I just need one of my magic super glue nozzles. And now we're ready to go. So let me pull out my cutting board. And these are the wrong tweezers. I'm sure somewhere these are a little more sharp. Easier to pick things up on the edges. Alright, so first thing we need to do is score our lines on our basket so we can build it, so we can fold it easier. And there it is. So this ruler, or just any straight edge, I'm using a ruler. Line up our dashes there. That one didn't feel good to me. I think I got glue on the tip or something. It doesn't feel like it's doing as good a job as usual. Let me see if it... Okay, yeah, but it worked, so no complaints. The results are more important than anything on this part. These guys, I usually feel that there's a little more traction or grip or something on it than it just not give me that feedback that I'm used to, but it's doing the job, so I'm not going to complain. Gentle so I don't tear this one as a transition. I think it's just the one more line here. It's all lined up nice. Not as much. Okay. It should be good to do some folding now. Do a dry fit. Guys all together. Sides in. These guys around. I think, yeah, these are the outside. Outside, inside, I think, yeah. So basically we should be able to just put the glue on these two edges and that should hold our shape pretty well. Alright. So, crack open the old super glue nozzle in there ready to go. And do one side at a time, I believe. Get the glue flowing. Just a couple of dots on here, doesn't take much. It might be excessive dots actually. Lined up on the edges there. Whoop. Okay, pretty instant grab on it. So that's good. Seems pretty square. Okay, now down, get inside there. Drop it loose there, but it's not. A little more in there. Close this guy up on the. Whoop, that moved on me. Corners lined up good. Got the basket form up and running. Now we're supposed to take these guys and make them into this shape, and then we're crisscrossing them, evidently. This might be where I lose the plot a bit, because I'm not feeling this. But got to give it a try. So it does have. It says we're supposed to be able to use this. This is supposed to be a 1-to-1 picture. Of course, that all depends on me having cut the appropriate length wire too. So that might be part of whether or not it actually lines up. Places, bend that around. Looks pretty close there for me. Just realized I didn't have Snoopy on, so let me pull him in. Okay, so maybe down a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be what I'm going to call close enough for me. Okay, and then roll you around. Okay, I definitely cut it long, so that's. I guess that's probably actually better because I can adjust. It's easier to adjust down than it is up. So, around there. Alright. We got that, and then at the end. Let's get velocity off of that one. And we got us a little square. Now let's see if I can make another one. That actually went a little bit better than I thought it would, so that's no complaints here. Well, I'll set you over here where maybe I won't disfigure you in the process. Put you straight around. Yeah, I was not expecting this to actually work this good. I thought I would have already given up on making this thing. Too far. Okay. And up everywhere else. There, alright. Okay. Color me tickled. take a little more off. Didn't quite get it short enough. So. Okay, there it goes. Now, okay. Now, you can sort of see the picture. Oh, I lost it. Because we're supposed to crisscross on either side of our basket. So, and there's all the instruction to it. This turned into that. There's no, no intermediary steps for us there. So we'll have to. So it looks like if we just do. Okay, so that not long enough for my. So I may have to call it audible. Evidently that is not the right size. Evidently we're supposed to use, what, yeah. I was assuming it was a one-to-one picture. It is. It's just off by that much. They were that close and they couldn't make it one-to-one. Oh me. Okay, so I have to do an audible on this one, so I'm just going to have it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do front and back like this. And I've got some extra wire, so I'll have each side do just one line across, I think, rather than crisscross, and they'll just do a diagonal. Got that one left over right there. That'd be probably about the right size. So get another one of those. And there's that wire. No, that's not the right wire. Alright, here we go. Just cut me another one of these. I feel pretty good that I made it this far without having to totally abandon any of the instructions, so I consider that a success. Let's see here. So, and now let's just see if I can see how the super glue feels with this stuff. So I'm just going to do glue flowing again. Just get dotting corners. 4 dots. I'll try and line it up with the bottom one if I can get drop in. Into the glue. Okay. Down a little bit, maybe. Force it into place. Probably not the best glue for this job, but seemed to have worked. Okay. The back is going to be up against the wall, so yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I made the thing, so I might as well stick it on there. Okay. Semi-magnetic ones again. Down on one side. Alright. Okay, grab a swab. Hold for the swab. extra there, so hopefully I won't glue myself to it after a while. I'll forget that's there. Okay. Now, seems to be doing its trick, so I'm going to stick with the super glue. There. Let's actually go. I got some plastic ones here. Seems pretty stable. Excellent. And one more. Wash out the camera a little bit more with the paper towel. Let's see which way to go on that one. Went going that way, so let's do this one the opposite direction. Alright. Yeah, that ought to fly. I'll say just seems stable enough as is. Alright. Set you down and let's get that glue a good chance to finish up. And now, I think, oh, wait, I forgot about our newspapers. I think we need to fold them in half. Pressure over top of it so it don't go everywhere. Okay. Let's see. I think. How do we want this? Okay, there's no. This has got like the headlines on it. The name is. I'm actually going to fold it over at an angle there. I have this one sort of hanging out the side. I have this one standing up in the back. Pictures and whatnot's going. Yeah. So I have that sort of thing on the outside of our little basket, I hope. Here's going to be that. Yeah. Actually, I guess I need to glue you guys together. It seems like that's not going to be tall enough. Okay. But, shouldn't be a trouble. Right there. And here flat, so on. So I'm going to do a little angle on it too, if I hadn't waited too long. Okay, so that's going to be something like that on the outside. I wonder if it would look better. No. That's going to be the way to go, I think. Okay. Need to put a dot. One more. Inside. the dot on the back side of our front paper. View in. Just up against that for a second. Alright, so we got our newspaper basket ready to roll. You know what? We got it. Let's pop it in. I'm just gonna stick with the super glue. I'm feeling it tonight. Taking more and more pressure to get the glue to run too. Alright. We're gonna go right in here, set up against our wall, under our counter. Okay. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. More pleased if the glue would set before I started moving it around. Okay, there it goes. Now we're stable. Alright. Now, last but not least, we get to build some bar stools. Wood on these, so I'm going to reach over and plug in my hot glue gun because I'm sure I'm going to need that here in a second. And get my instructions back out. Okay, so we got columns, tops, covers, base, and this is supposed to be the backs of our chairs. That's going to be another one of those, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I think I had enough luck with that paper thing. I guess I better try it at least, right? The first thing, put our seat tops on our bar stools. There and there. Like I say, I'm feeling the super glue tonight, so let's just stick with it. It's been flowing for me, so. Alright, there we go. Easy enough, barely stuck myself to it at all. A little overhang on there, but I think I'm going to let that slide because it's small enough detail where I don't think it'll show. Now, supposed to, these guys go here, and these go on the bottoms, or vice versa, you know, whichever way you want to go. Go from the bottom to the top or top to the bottom. Let's see. Let's see if I don't know if I've had enough time for the super glue, the hot glue to heat up yet or not. Let's find out. Yeah, there it goes. All the center and this. And actually the glue is hold it down when applying the hot glue. Get it off, and probably best not to use plastic tweezers to do that. Okay, try again there. There we go. That seems a little better. String out. Okay. thing on the tops. I think I've got room to hold it for the edges, so put it down. That's not a good omen. Okay. Let's see. This one says I want to be used, but I want the super glue. Okay, that seems to be okay. This one's being a wise guy, so. Top one, this one's wobbling too. Okay. Solidified. Hope it stays together. Now, the backs. I think it's more important that they're reasonably identical than it is that they're perfectly in line with their picture. So I'm just going to try and keep them ganged together, bend them at the same place both times. Maybe. Okay. Look reasonably identical to me. Okay, and let's see here. This is the one that I think seems, yeah, this one feels this feels like the sturdy one. This is the one without the super glue. So to put you on like so. Back, or either side. Just, I guess, make sure I'm not on that overhanging part. Make sure I'm up against the wood, like so. Let's see. This feels pretty stable. I'm not gonna over torque it or anything. Let's see. Let's try it. I don't know. Just eyeballing it, I think that's about right. Okay. Seems to be staying fairly close to put. Not falling over anywhere, so that's what I want to see. Alright, cool. Let's let you stand up. Okay, stood up. Now, how's this one feeling? Yeah, it's a little wobbly on the top. You may be able to see that. But I think I'm good enough. And got an overhang over here. I can't imagine I'm going to get this lucky twice in a row, but let's find out. in spite of myself. Alright. A little bit surprised again. Okay, dig it. Now, set you aside. Yes, they stood up. Okay. And of course, these go sort of here next to our bar. I guess I'm going to go ahead and see how much damage I do when I break this sign loose, because I'm like 99% sure that's what I'll do while I'm letting that glue do its thing. Let's see how this thing stacks up here. So I got 4 sides, 3 tall. Okay, are they all? Hang on. Where's the dust cover? Okay. 3 of them are the same height as, and this is, okay, so this is 8.5 by 8.5. And one of these is 0.25 centimeters narrower, so that must be the front. Okay, so this is the front, and these got to be the sides, and this is the front, sides, and top. Okay, so the sides and the front are the ones yeah, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to move that sign. Yeah, that's going to get in the way of both of them, so it's how much damage I'm going to do. Can I conceal it again? The paper tearing underneath it. Okay, fortunately it was white, so it's sort of not that bad, not that obvious at least. Guys off. Clean off our feet again here. Somewhat. Okay. Like I say, I just want to make sure I leave a little gap between the sides and the front, so I got room for my dust cover to go in, because evidently I'm trying that now. I'm just going to let's do 2 of them this time, because really all we need is 1 on each side. And like I said, you and you. In place for a second. Okay. That should give us side. Yeah, it just drops right in there and there. Other side. That's going to be a snug fit. Yeah. If I can get all this to work, it'll be a snug fit. And that lid is going to be there. Okay. So the back is open to, but it's still pretty. It pretty much the roof comes down to it. Okay. Oh, I just remembered. They gave us bonus pieces. Some more brick to go on the outside of the wall here to cover up our seams. I thought that's what it was. It doesn't cover the seams, it just covers, it goes between the seams. I thought it was going to go front to back, so it wouldn't have that. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about doing that. Yeah, I thought that was going to go all the way front to back, so it would sort of cover up their little. Okay, that seems sort of a waste of time. That's not going to improve the looks at all. Okay, so let's go back to our bar stools now and get them in place, and then we'll see how that dust cover does or doesn't go. I'm going to make a solid, honest effort at it. So these guys. Dry fit first here, I'm sort of maybe facing towards each other like the people were talking to each other, I think. Yeah, I think that's about what I'm feeling. Okay. Back out of the way. And nice flat surface, so just stick with the super glue. Once I get it flowing. There you go. Like so. And then all right, and that completes the actual model part of the build. So I'm real pleased with that. I think it's gonna look. I think it does look really good. That's what turned out nice. I'm feeling it. Sort of wouldn't. Basically, I bought it because I found it on sale, nice and cheap. So I'm really pleased it turned out so nice. Sort of, and I think it's just one of those. Practice had to help me, learning some techniques as I go along. And the trick for me isn't learning the techniques; it's remembering the techniques once I've learned them. It's always the trick, and about getting the proper tools helps as well. So let's clear this kind of stuff off of here. Get me a square, a piece of acrylic to go underneath it, and glue, and then I gotta figure these pieces out again. Okay, so the shorter one. Okay, that's the roof. So that'll go on last. Then the slightly narrower one is the front. And these two are the sides. And the front goes inside the sides. So the glue goes on the edge of the front. Okay. I'm going to keep this little roof separated. Double check them. Okay. Okay, so this is definitely, matter of fact, and somewhere I've got a Sharpie or something. Yeah, okay. Front, side. Top. Okay. Okay, and now, so I'm going to take, I think I'm just going to try and peel off just like the edge. Make sure I don't, just give me a little bit of, so once it gets together I can peel the whole thing off. That's going to, I guess I'll, yeah, I want to make sure that the glue might contaminate. So I do want to try and get it separated away from the edge. But if all goes well, there won't be much spillage. That's how I decided that I'm just going to put the glue on the edge of the front. Work my way down through here. I have no idea if this is right or not, but that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so you're peeled away. You're peeled away. Okay, so the other side. That's that. Okay, so should be good. I only need one side. The paper side seems to be harder to peel, so I'm going to use that as the inside. Okay. Told you. All this work, I'm still not even sure if I'm going to do it or not. I guess you can probably tell from the thumbnail whether I succeeded or not. So at this point in time, you know that I don't. Okay, so that's... I'm gluing there. So you're going in here. I'm bringing the side in, the front in this way. Okay, so... I think I want the plastic on the outside on this because it'll be thinner. Won't be as much to double up if I'm pushing it in. So something like this when it's all said and done. It's going to be the grip. Everything seems good. Okay, so I'll peel this back just a little bit more because this paper is being a little bit less cooperative than the plastic side. Give me a little more freedom there. Okay. Now, clamps here, just a few standing on end. And now, okay, maybe not that one. Okay, there we go. Put it angle so it's more stable. Okay, and how all right, here we go. Okay, that went better than I thought it was going to. And down. Sure. Still moving around in there. It's hard to get even pressure all the way up and down. It's sort of flimsy. Okay, and how we doing? Okay. Little, not too bad. A little extra ooze in there. Now, I should peel this other side too while I was doing. I guess I'm going to peel the front to start with. So let's see if it stays together for the peel. And get a grip on everything. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. It's better than I thought it would be, so that's now. So reset again for our other side. So I've got to go in. Guess I'll have to go in this way onto this one. That. Okay. Same sort of thing. See if I can get some glue along that edge. Maybe a little lighter touch if I'm lucky. I can't figure out the... Sometimes this stuff Comes right on out. There must be a vapor lock or something going on in there. Now I'm doing a continuous line this time. And even harder to apply pressure with this one. And I didn't peel that side. Okay. Let's see, can I... Okay. Okay, there's a little smudge on there. I can't believe I can totally believe I did that, 'cause that's very much something I would totally do. So let's clean that off right quick before it sets in. Okay. Off. Okay. Now, then back to the paper side that I just applied super glue to. And it looks like it did sink in. Okay, so I think I'm going to take the whole thing off. Yeah, it looks like it went through on the other side as well. Yeah, it did. Take the plastic off too. Okay. Well, I got one side on before I did any major goof ups. Okay, so back in place with you. And back to the glue with you. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, 5 or 10 seconds. I think I'm going to put the top on after I get it in place, is my plan at this point. This should be, it's going to stick, it's stuck, should be stuck. Did not stick. Back in place. Mostly just the even pressure up and down all the way is the trick, and I didn't get it at the bottom. Okay, new plan. Let's see. Get this thing. Oops. Okay. Get this in there. Now, I still got wet glue on there somehow. I think I just smeared it everywhere. Down. Huh. me get some more smudges on there. But it seems to have somewhat stuck in place now. It's narrower at the back. Okay. Now this should go on right here. I do start off on, do these two sides, just glue through there and through here. Now I should be able to line that last side up, in theory. But I'm going to do it without the glue. I have to peel it first because I got to be able to see, to hopefully line those sides up, the top, the corners up rather. I think I spent more time on the dust cover than I did the actual build today. It's close. Alright. Okay, so I'll set you against there. Now, off. Dot on the very back corner. Nope, didn't dot. There we go. A few here. That corner. And this corner. Yeah, I don't think this dust cover is going to be a very good dust cover. Especially when I just dropped it into the glue like that. Okay, you pressure. Yeah, it's gonna be on there, but I'm not. Now, look at that. Just dab on there at the end. Put you in. Pressure down on you. That other corner broke free on me. Okay. That's as complete as it's gonna be. Okay. Fingerprints and smudges galore in the corners. Well, on that corner. Actually, this one's not that bad. That first corner I did. But that totally and completely completes the build. I've still, I say, I probably would have skipped the dust cover if I had to do again. It's sort of, I just don't have the steady enough hands or the techniques to get that together without getting glue everywhere. Somebody mentioned they put some strips of tape over it to cover up the mistakes, and that might be something to do if you can avoid dropping it into the actual glue and smearing it everywhere. But it doesn't look bad. I think as far as dust cover goes, like if it's up on a shelf, you might not notice it, sort of in a shadow. But the build itself, the model, I really like. I think it's a cool little scene. I've done a few little non-fantasy stuff, non-library stuff. It's always fun to change the pace a bit. But yeah, I think I picked this one up I was on Amazon haul. It was like $12, $13. It was dirt cheap, fun little build. Really worth it if you're looking for a little challenge, not want to go crazy like the Firefly Forest or the Sea Breeze. This is a good get your feet wet in that kind of building all the little pieces build. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all of that. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on a link. There's my channel up there if you want to subscribe. There's my other channel over there. We do experiments. Had a failed one today. Or I guess yesterday now. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching. And that is the playlist for this whole build. I'll see you tomorrow.